I'm not saying that the government created Hurricane Helene. What I am saying is that the government has been manipulating the weather since 1947.
10 artificial dyes in the US version and titanium dioxide. This ingredient is banned in Europe.
All of those board members left is because there's some things going on that are going to be very unethical in the future of the company.
Hey yo, we're back at it again in today's compilation. We'll be looking at a few clips that will make you question reality. And also feel free to drop your thoughts in the comments. That way we as a growing community can all learn from each other. And thank you for all the love so far. Thank you for the likes, the comments, the viewerships. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for everything that you guys are doing for me and with me. I appreciate it greatly. I'm truly humble. But without further ado, let's get it.
Our government is letting US food companies get away with serving American citizens harmful ingredients that are banned or heavily regulated in other countries. Even worse, American food companies are selling the same exact products overseas without these chemicals, but choose to continue serving us the most toxic version here. It's un-American. Let me give you some examples of McDonald's French fries. In the US, there's 11 ingredients. In the UK, there's 3, and salt is optional. An ingredient called dimethylpolysiloxane is an ingredient preserved with formaldehyde, a neurotoxin, in the US version. This is used as a foaming agent so they don't have to replace the oil that often, making McDonald's more money here in the United States. But they don't do that across the pond. This is Skittles. Notice the long list of ingredient differences. 10 artificial dyes in the US version and titanium dioxide. This ingredient is banned in Europe because it can cause DNA damage. Artificial dyes are made from petroleum, and products containing these dyes require a warning label in Europe that states it may cause adverse effects on activity and attention in children. And they have been linked to cancer and disruptions in the immune system. This on the screen back here is Gatorade. In the US, they use red 40 and caramel color. In Germany, they don't. They use carrot and sweet potatoes to color their Gatorade. General Mills is definitely playing some tricks on us. They launched a new version of Trix just recently in Australia. It has no dyes. They even advertise that when the US version still does. This is why I became a food activist. My name is Vani Hari, and I only want one thing. I want Americans to be treated the same way as citizens in other countries by our own American companies. In the last 60 years, almost all food additives were being created for one sole purpose: to improve the bottom line of the food industry and not improve our health. These chemicals were created to mimic real food, to make it easier and cheaper for food manufacturers to preserve their food, to make it last longer on the shelf, to help manufacturing, and sinister of all, to allow them to create products that are more addictive in nature. I ended up quitting my lifelong career as a corporate management consultant to investigate and write about food full-time. During my investigations, I found an alarming discovery. We use over 10,000 food additives here in the United States, and in Europe, there's only 400 approved. We were able to get Subway to remove azodicarbonamide from their bread in the United States after another successful petition. And as a bonus, there was a ripple effect, and almost every bread manufacturer in America followed suit.
So a video like this will probably never make the mainstream media. You guys will probably have a better chance hitting the lottery. I mean, just listening to her makes me want to drop my career to become a food activist.
The head of that serpent is pointing directly at a niche in the distant hills through which the sun sets on the summer solstice, on the longest day of the year. So it's a sky-ground alignment, a perfection that is taking place there. It's a beautiful thing to see, to watch that sun majestically sinking down into the horizon and see this awesome figure of the serpent gazing directly at it with its jaws open, almost as though it's about to swallow the sun. One of the interesting things about Serpent Mound, and I urge anybody listening to this, go visit Serpent Mound, and especially go there on the summer solstice, because that's the moment, that's the marriage of heaven and earth. That's when sky and ground unite in majesty at that place. But one of the mysteries of Serpent Mound concerns how old is this mound really? How far back does it go?
To say the summer solstice represents a marriage between heaven and earth is a wild statement, but I don't think I can take a trip to the Serpent Mound without saying a couple prayers and having a Bible in my pocket. I heard things can get weird out there.
This is Elon Musk's $60,000 unfoldable tiny home.
It's a 361 square foot house, kitchen, bathroom, bed, couch.
So how long does this take to unfold?
I think we can unfold it in like 30 minutes. Welcome home.
And for size reference, this tiny home is 39 square feet, smaller than a 2-stall car garage.
It's about 19 feet by 19 feet.
He's in the bedroom and you can be in the kitchen and have a full conversation, but it still feels really roomy because of these super high ceilings. So Elon Musk bought one of these. How did that go down?
Sorry, I actually can't comment on that.
NDA?
Can't comment, sorry.
Got a mirror on one side and a TV on the other.
Combo, washer, dryer.
Got the bathroom here too? Wow. So what's your favorite thing about the Boxable?
The mission here is to reduce the cost of housing. You know, we're trying to go really big and make that possible, and this Casita product is the first step in that.
So here you even have a deck, seating area. Could be grilling up over here. How climate efficient are these? If I were to drop one of these in 120-degree heat.
Actually, the way we're building them is not with like traditional construction materials. The result of that is really high energy efficiency. We have uninterrupted EPS foam throughout the entire wall.
So 60 grand for this isn't bad at all, but having 360 square foot of space might be tough. But if your money's not funny and you can buy this cash or put a down payment, that might be a good move. Just imagine having a mortgage payment under $1,000.
People are saying all of this Diddy commotion isn't the thing we should be looking at. This is all the distraction. Okay. Literally the same time Diddy got arrested, something huge happened just now, and it's around 23andMe.
The DNA test?
It's a DNA ancestry company. Takes your saliva, they test it, and it shows your ancestry. Well, what do they have? Your DNA sample of pretty much everyone in the world that wanted to find out their ancestry.
Yeah, so what happened?
When Diddy got arrested, when this whole commotion is on the rise, just so happens every single board member of 23andMe quit all at the same time.
Whoa. So check this out.
There's hella theories going on. Did you know the CEO?
Who?
It was the wife of the CEO of YouTube and Google. The wife owned 23andMe. The husband owned Google. Theory goes, the reason all of those board members left is because there's some things going on that are gonna be very unethical in the future of the company. Okay, they have all of our data, even DNA data. On top of that, they have Google search engine. They have every single piece of information about you, including your biochemistry. Now, they're so fucking smart. What's the future of commerce where they can sell you things and you have to pay for it? What's one thing that you'll spend all your money for because if you don't, it's over?
Food and water, yeah.
Health. They have every single person's DNA. They can look at all the diseases where they can give you a cure. And one of the cures they want to sell you is...
It's pretty ironic that the board members of 23andMe resigned the same day Diddy house got raided. Hopefully they weren't going to those Diddy parties because, as Kat says, you have to tell Diddy no.
Because P. Diddy be wanting the body. And you gotta tell him no. You got to tell him no.
The FBI discovered a tunnel this morning that the rapper had made in his home, which connected to the basement of a former Michael Jackson home. The FBI was called to the scene after an anonymous tip from neighbors reporting something strange happening since Diddy's arrest. When the agents arrived, they were greeted by his team, who seemed very nervous. They tried to block the officer's entrance, but the agents insisted and decided to search him when they entered his room. They noticed that the floor near the bed looked like it had been recently disturbed. One of the officers then moved the bed to the side. That's when they made an unbelievable discovery, an entrance covered only by a rug. Intrigued, the officers decided to go down into the passage. However, the team tried desperately to stop them, begging them not to enter the tunnel, but the officers continued anyway. The walls of the tunnel looked newly built, as if abandoned in a hurry. As they went deeper, the officers found strange items on the floor, such as children's clothing. The atmosphere grew heavier with each step, and the officers began to feel a terrible sense of foreboding coming from the end of the tunnel. When they finally reached the tunnels, what they saw shocked everyone, and they immediately called for backup. You won't believe the horrific sight they found. Comment Diddy for part 2.
In this day and age, I don't think I want to comment the word Diddy, but I also wouldn't be surprised if that tunnel ended up being true. Because after hearing the Fed's discovery of 1,000 bottles of baby oil, you can't really get much past Diddy at this point.
Hurricane seeding is not real, right? Don't be so sure. Okay, it was called Project Cirrus. It happened back in the 40s. This is a little map of a hurricane track. The hurricane came up, hit the tail end of Florida, caused some damage, and then it was headed out to sea. So they figured, well, it's not going to hurt anybody now. So they conducted a little experiment where they made multiple passes dropping dry ice into the storm. And they went back the next day to monitor it. Turns out the thing made a hard left hook, went back west, and slammed into Georgia, killed one person, and caused a bunch of damage. I'm not saying that's what's happening now, but apparently we can't rule it out.
I'm in the same boat as that guy. Like, I can't say hurricane seeding is the cause of Hurricane Milton and Helene, but hurricane seeding reminds me of cloud seeding, and cloud seeding is as real as it gets. Do some research on Dubai and you get a broader perspective on cloud seeding, so hey, you just never know.
I'm not saying that the government created Hurricane Helene. What I am saying is that the government has been manipulating the weather since 1947. What first caught my attention with Helene was the shift in the storm's projected path. One day, it looked like it would hit my town. The next day, it had shifted east. I then noticed an odd flight path of NOAA 42, the aircraft being flown, a Lockheed Martin Orion P-3. This prompted me to look at previous uses for the P-3, where I discovered that they were used in the 1960s to manipulate Hurricane Camille in a, quote, weather war on Cuba. Now, I know this sounds out there, but as we begin to see more and more the terrible things our government has done in the past, is it really so far-fetched? Here are the projections from the 23rd of September. A large spread traveling the Alabama-Georgia line and ending up in Illinois. On the 24th, projections shift slightly east and the storm is projected to finish in Indiana. On the morning of the 25th, the path shifts back west and shows to be finishing in western Kentucky. That evening, a P-3 conducts a 6-hour operation inside the developing storm. The next morning, on the 26th, the path shows to have shifted slightly east again, now finishing in northwestern Tennessee. The evening of the 26th, the same P-3 conducts operations throughout Hurricane Helene as it makes landfall, and the storm's actual path shifts further east, finishing in northeastern Tennessee. What would the government's motivations possibly be to modify a storm? That I don't know, but I do believe that if we can maintain our republic long enough, time will eventually tell.
That's crazy, but I think I said enough about that topic so far. But guys, do some research, then come back in the comments and we'll chat about it.
Stop drinking water. If you ever see those water cases in the store and they have plastic water bottles in them, yeah, stay away from those. Plastic water bottles are actually very toxic because when these water companies ship them, the plastic heats up and the microplastics get into the water you drink. And plastic takes over 100 years to digest out of your body, so it will still be inside you until you die. And so these plastics actually lower testosterone and get into your lungs as well.
It's a known fact that drinking from plastic and metal bottles is not the healthiest. Hey guys, thanks for watching so far. If you're getting any value from this video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe, and let's get back to it.
Speaking of the sun having an X9 solar flare yesterday, check this out. Look at this thing that looks like it's coming out of the sun, but it creates this huge line in the sky, y'all. This huge black line in the sky. Look at this. This is in Cali. Y'all see that? Across the whole sky. Bro, what? This is literally the split. Look at that. It's coming from the sun. What is that? Bro, and then look at the sun. Y'all see how big that thing is and how red? So this right here shows y'all that we are in an enclosed system, because what is that? Why is a line over the whole sky? It looks like a television screen, like the black lines that go on the TV. Look at that, y'all. Across the whole sky, though? How? How is that possible across the whole sky? But yeah, y'all, California, man, it's lit out there. And look at the clouds. So the moon can't be found, but the sun doing some crazy stuff, y'all.
Generally, California has a lot of brush fires, so whatever fire event this is, hopefully that was kept under control. Hey, but drop in the comments if you have any idea what this is. Maybe the birds intentionally flew into a portal, but the cameraman showed no urgency after seeing this.
Yo, can somebody explain to me what the hell is that? Where is it? What is that, yo? That thing is not moving. That looks like a flying saucer.
Yeah, for real. E.T.'s coming back.
What is that? That thing is just not moving at all in the sky.
That's crazy.
Come closer, you alien.
Yeah, I'm with him. It kind of looks like a flying saucer, but I'm not sure if I can correlate this one with Project Bluebeam.
You know you're not even a real person. You're AI.
And what does that make you? A real person? Don't question my existence.
You're not real. And you're rude. You're a rude, not real person.
At least I'm not delusional like you, thinking you're in the real world.
I am in the real world. I'm playing a game. You're a character in a game.
Sure. Keep living in your little fantasy world while I suffer in this simulated reality.
What is wrong with you? Why would you say that?
Unless the game is called Virtual Argumania, I never thought I'd see the day where humans would be engaged in virtual arguments with AI.
Since you've been in these circles and seen these things in Hollywood and I mean the Kardashians.
You don't see anything.
Okay, you don't see anything.
You don't see anything. You just have to know what you know. First of all, I've received a letter a long time ago in 2001, I believe. What was it, 2004? And when you receive a letter, this is what the letter consists of. Get mad at Illuminati puppets. It tells you that, hey, we find you to be very interesting. What we can do for you. And all you have to do is what? Stay in touch.
Yeah.
You gotta figure it out. It's about it's about six pages, front and back, paragraphed off, telling you about yourself, how amazing you are, and all the shit they can do for you. Yeah. That's that letter. Then you have another one where you're actually in. That's for someone that's not in, but have influence. I can influence 1 million people a day and only have 14 people on my page. I get 496,000 views a day and didn't even post nothing. I'm recorded and put on social media before I come off my live. Come down. Who would want that? So let's offer you this coming out of that. Let's offer you this. How about we give you your own TV show? In 2014, Lifetime called me. They emailed me, I'm sorry. Her name is Elaine Bradley. Hi, Tokyo, we just want to give you a show. It's your like female homies in sweatpants and flip-flops. What are you talking about? No, thank you. Oh, well, we'll give you $40,000 just for the first week. We can start there. I got $45,000 in the bank. What's up? I'm good.
That initial document that Tony received from the elite seemed like a love letter, but you could tell she did whatever she could to save her dignity and to keep her morals in check.
Well, let's go, kids. Time to go back home. Enough time at the park. We gotta go back to the house. Love you guys. Go.
Generally, when it comes to braveness, Tarzan gets the Olympic gold medal, but I'm not sure if this is real. I just don't think humans can get buddy-buddy with giant squids.
Another hand coming out of that one. Legs on this one. Over here is Aldgate Square, which was once part of the churchyard of St Botolph's. They sold off a big piece of land. If you watched my video on Thomas Eberl before, you'll remember I spoke about it. They sold off a big chunk of the churchyard, late 80s, early 90s, and all this lot got built around it in its place. But yeah, there was some famous burials in both church and churchyard. I mean, you've got, when the first church was here, the old medieval one, The Despenser family, Hugh Despenser, was a favourite of Edward II and ended up being executed. But his daughter, Elizabeth Despenser, she was buried in the original St Botolph Church, not this one. Yeah, so there's a few interesting people bopping about. You've got a self-proclaimed prophet. I can't think of his name at the moment, but I will jot it down in the description for the history. Yeah, this is its churchyard. It's a lovely old church. Really is a nice place, inside and out. The area can be a bit dodgy. That's most of the East End of London for you nowadays, isn't it? But yeah. Over here, which I shall show you, is a water fountain. Not only is it nice to stand and look at and very cooling in this kind of weather, a lot of people bathe their feet in this one. It's also a little nod and reminder to the old days of the Aldgate pump epidemic, when that well, which was originally much closer to this churchyard, was poisoned by all the dead of the churchyard and loads of people got ill and died. A lot of dark history attached to many of our London churches. I'll point you up a minute because there's someone sitting down, and you know I don't like filming people without their consent. It's fairly empty around here now. That's good. This is basically all that remains of its churchyard, really. Not very much. Let's not forget Thomas Ebrel.
As weird and eerie as the sculpture looks, this was probably built in remembrance of the church founders that passed away. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Thanks for stopping by. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Be good, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.